It's time to learn how you can run sex offender checks on people visiting your facility. There are several ways. You can run checks on current records in your database, for person records, and for volunteer application records. And you can run checks on visitors as they sign in to the kiosk. We'll start by looking at running a check manually through administration in person management. Here you have your general people records. To run a check on any record, it must have a birth date. Select the record, go to the Checks tab, and click on the Perform Sex Offender Check button. If there are no results, well, Keepin' Track still records that a check was run and notes there were no matches. When you get results, you will have the information you are trying to match, the person record, on the left, possible matches in the middle, and the offender records on the right. At the bottom right, you can choose if a record is or is not a match. You will go through and mark each result. If you are unsure, you can always come back to it by closing the window and later running the check again. When you choose not a match, that choice is remembered and this record will not show up as a possible match next time. When you choose this is a match, the record will be saved as a match and you have the choice to deny or allow the person access based on that result. Your choice will be recorded with a date and the operator's name. If you select a match and had more potential matches that were unprocessed, you'll be able to choose what to do with the rest of those records. We recommend processing them one by one, as it is possible for a person to have more than one sex offender record. Keepin' Track remembers each record you mark as a match or not, so you only have to do this once. If you think you made a mistake, you can reset the check, then running the check will bring up all possible matches again. Not only can you run sex offender checks, but also background checks on volunteers and staff. Call us to find out more, 1-800-347-6439. Of course, you can also run sex offender checks through applications. In this case, you cannot allow or deny this person access as they are not an official person in your system yet, but the results of the check are recorded and can be used when you determine whether or not to accept or reject this application. If you have sex offender checks enabled in Workstation Management for that station, checks are automatically run whenever A new visitor signs in and creates a person record, and B, whenever an old visitor or volunteer signs in. You'll only notice this if that check finds any new possible matches. In an attended kiosk, you will see results immediately and make a determination from there. Now he's showing up because we reset his checks. Note, if you close the window without processing all the records, this person will not be signed in and their status will be set to pending. In the kiosk, if you mark an SOR match, you have the option to allow once then block. This means that person can sign in this time only. After that, their access will be denied. In the self-service kiosk, Keepin' Track will perform the check in the background. If it finds possible matches, it will not let the person sign in. You will need to enable or disable sex offender checks for every station. Logged into your station, use the link in the Actions menu to open Workstation Management. On the left control strip, click on Station. Under Station Preferences, you will see the checkbox to enable sex offender checks for visitors and volunteers. If you do not want sex offender checks at this station, uncheck the box and the preference will save automatically. Now note the warning here. If your preference settings never require a birth date for sign-in, but you have SOR checks on, the checks will be run on name only, and this means a lot of potential matches that aren't very useful. We recommend you require the birth date when sex offender checks are enabled. If you have any questions about the sex offender checks and Keepin' Track, contact Keepin' Track customer support at 1-800-320-5830 or support@keepintrack.com.